I see a lot of videos, with people talking about the SNAP program and a lot of people moan and whine and say, oh, the welfare mamas, and there's always cases like you see these abuses, and they think, oh, so people start to think that like everybody abuses these programs, that's not the case. In fact, you might get like a lot of people abuse it, but I can tell you that one thing that a lot of people who make these arguments try to say is that there aren't any poor in the United States. Well, let's go there. I could tell you stories about poor people I've met, hardworking people who are poor, in multiple states that I've been in, that I've lived. But let's go to the facts. That if you crunch the numbers, there's close to 20 million people in the United States who make less than $1,200 a month. And that's poverty level. If you don't think that's poverty level, you're crazy, Especially with gas being $4 a gallon, or more, But let's not even go into gas. I'm talking about the price of beef, the price of milk, the price of anything, the price of car insurance. Yeah, you try to subsist on $1,200 a month. Some people barely get by on $1,200 a week. And if you move those numbers up to like say 1,600, you get close to like 30 million. And even 1,600 would be like borderline for a lot of people. So you got people who are at least 10%, close to 10% of the population that's close to borderline poverty, and the richest country in the world. Why are all these people so impoverished? I mean, tens of millions of people, who are, I don't know, eating canned food because they can't afford to eat. A lot of people I met who are poor, that's what they do. They don't even get food stamps. They subsist on like $900,000 a month, and they go get freaking food pantry, food, whatever they can get to fill their own food pantry. So this delusion that there aren't poor people in the United States is just that, a delusion. Go look it up. Don't believe me, And so people are so quick to want to cut programs like SNAP. I mean, I know people want to make the arguments about socialism, but, it might be a necessary evil. Because, what's your alternative? Oh, they not want to work. No. I'm talking about people like old people, who work their whole lives. Maybe their spouse died, or for whatever reason, they don't get that much. A lot of the people I'm talking about are old people. People who worked hard their whole lives, and don't have anything. So don't give me that shit about, they need to work harder, or, they should be able to make money in the United States. Well, they didn't, and they don't have it. So what's your plan now, genius? Huh? Tell me.